haven't really been taking time to slow down at all. I've been really struggling with a lot of chatter in my head, even if it's nighttime, even if I don't have any work to do, even if it's a Sunday afternoon and I should be capable of being at rest and feeling peaceful and calm and relaxed and in the present moment. I find myself very stuck in the past and the future lately, which is causing me to be a lot more stressed out. And to fix that, I want to be a lot more intentional about how I spend my time and how I practice rest. You know, it's such a hippie woo-woo thing, but I've been thinking about it a lot as I have just committed to run the New York City Marathon in the fall for Planned Parenthood. I know that that's going to bring on a lot of physical stressors, emotional, mental stressors, and I know that I want to get ahead of that and start implementing routines of rest into my daily life. I have to go through the hard runs, and I have to stretch, and I have to listen to my body. It's going to be tough. So this is day one of me trying to be chill, and you're gonna see how this goes. That's gonna be the next vlog for you guys. So we are at my favorite place in New York City, the West Side Highway. The favorite spot for many. It's one of the few places that you can hear the water. You still hear some cars over here, but you hear less of it. It feels like you're kind of alone with yourself. And I'm sitting here in a tree so I can get into some journaling and reflection and ideas and relaxation. So the view looks like if you're curious and if you're not in New York. And I really like this place because this is also where I run. And so relaxing where I'm sitting right now, hi to my hokas. And then this is also the place that I'm pushing myself mentally and emotionally and physically. So I don't know. I'm in my corny era, let me be. Let me show you what I have here for my little rest moment. So I have the book that I just picked up. It's called What I Talk About When I Talk About Running by Murakami. I've gotten recommended this by runners and non-runners alike. Already pretty in my head and meditative when I do think about running, but maybe this will offer me some new reflections. I have some weed for myself to relax, some water and electrolytes. I have some watermelon here, and then a kombucha. And maybe I'll put on my big headphones and listen to some music, but I think I'm just gonna sit here in the quiet and read this. I guess quiet is relative for New York because I just heard a lot of trucks go by, but this is peaceful to me. So day one of Kate trying to be chill, starting off strong. I'll talk to you later. You have to be is yourself, the way you used to be. So I'm sitting here on the West Side Highway reading this book. First thing I can think about is, damn, I want to go on a run right now. I see runners, I'm reading about it, and I'm like, this is what I want to be doing right now. I know that I need to take a break. I'm going to start a training plan for the New York City Marathon. I'm getting a run coach so I prevent injury and prevent from overtraining. I really just want to go on a run right now. I know that I shouldn't. My body's aching a little bit. All I can think about is just this journey ahead of me getting across that finish line. Crazy. You have to do a lot of mental and physical work to get there. What do I currently think about when I'm running? To answer the question, I think about my body and I think about pain and I think about injury. And it's something that I need to get over because all I can think about is don't take a step that's going to hurt your knee. Don't take a step that's gonna hurt your Achilles. In such a negative mind space when I'm actually in the motion of running, it's something that I really want to work on. It comes from a place of not wanting to re-injure myself. That's like the actual issue it's associated with, but it's not helping me get into running faster. And I've been holding on to it for months now that I'm gonna get injured. I've been running, I just haven't been running as strong and as healthy as I want to feel. When I think about running comes from a place of anxiety and fear. And I think about injury, and we're gonna try to fix that before July 1st when we kind of get into the marathon plan. We're gonna fix the anxiety and fear that comes up. I have better things to think about when I'm running. I'm the kind of person who likes to be by himself. To put a finer point on it, I'm the type of person who doesn't find it painful to be alone. I find spending an hour or two every day running alone, not speaking to anyone, as well as 4 or 5 hours alone at my desk to be neither difficult nor boring. I had this tendency ever since I was young. When given a choice, I much preferred reading books on my own or concentrating on listening to music over being with someone else. I could always think of things to do by myself. Day 2 of me documenting my journey to run the New York City Marathon in the fall. Just got back from physical therapy, and it was a bad day. So I mentioned in the clip yesterday that I'm going to take 2 weeks off of running just to give myself a little bit of mental break before I get into the marathon plan. I got set up with a run coach as well, but I went to physical therapy today, and I've been dealing with different things from my injury. I had a stress fracture in my left knee. My right leg is imbalanced, was doing more work. Now it's fatigued. My calf hurts. I have this weird arch collapse. So I had my physical therapist watch me run on a treadmill and assess my gait. And there is this crazy arch collapse that looks like I'm about to break my leg when I run. Officially confirmed that these 2 weeks off, I need them very much. And it's nothing that is super concerning injury-wise. It's just the fact that running is a skill, it is a sport. So even though running is biologically a human thing, our ancestors did it, there is technique to running distance and running well and avoiding injury. I've never been taught that. If I went to go play volleyball right now, I would sure as hell hire a coach and sure as hell learn the right technique and form. I've never learned running form. I've just been running whatever felt natural. And I kind of hate the idea that running has to be complicated, whatever, and you should get coach and do training, because I think it should be intuitive and democratic and all of that stuff and accessible. But at the same time, I have fucked up bone density stuff from eating disorders in high school, leading me to have stress fractures, more prone to get injuries. I am a woman as well. I listened to this podcast by Whoop. They have their own podcast. It was talking about different stages of a woman's life and how that kind of correlates with your athletics and your body and all that stuff. And if you feel frustrated in your body, because I feel frustrated right now. So 2 weeks off running for sure. I'm gonna go sit in a park and read the book or something like that. But yesterday I was more confident. Today I'm a little, but I'll talk to you tomorrow, I guess. Hi YouTube, it's Friday. The past few days I've been going to spin class back in my SoulCycle era, just because I want to stay off my feet to figure out what is going on and give myself rest on the running stuff before I get into marathon training. But today I had an exciting call with someone who's going to be a run coach. I do want to have help. I do need to ask for help. I think you can figure out marathon stuff on your own, but I also think it's good to have someone in your corner who has skills and tools and can help you through all that stuff. For context, my last marathon, I got a program from the Big Sur Marathon Registration. They gave you access to this website called Run Coach. And it set you up with a marathon training program, and I just willy-nilly went with it. The program, in retrospect, had way too much volume, too many miles throughout the week, too many times on my feet throughout the week, not enough rest, too intense of workouts, too fast of paces, and not as much differentiation between my fast and my easy stuff. So I'm going to be working with a coach. So it was good to talk about running, good to be honest about running. It's 7 p.m. on a Friday night, and I'm ready to go to bed. I've dinner done, magnesium done. Need to do a face mask, then I'm going to take a bath, but I'm going to have, you guys know what it is. Gonna read this. When I'm making this YouTube video around this book, and you guys are like, oh, this video is gonna probably be super long. The book is 180 pages, something like that. I'm on page 40, so we're gonna try to read 100 pages. Maybe I get crazy and I finish the whole book. So I'll let you know if I hit a good passage, but that's the update. We're gonna have the weekend. We're gonna have fun. So let's read and let's get in the zone. And don't worry, we're gonna take a little gummy while we're doing this. Yeah. What's up, YouTube? I don't remember the last time I filmed, but so it's Monday. I go to physical therapy on Monday. I'm gonna start running next week. So it's my second week not running. Yeah, that's right. I've been reading more of my book that inspired this video. The main similarities I feel in this book between the author and myself is that running is something you do for yourself. I've talked about that on my social media before, so that should come as no surprise. But it's something I picked up on in this author's experience with running. 60 pages left, which I'll probably read while I take an Epsom salt bath tonight. But it's been really nice to have the break from running. I've been doing a lot of spin class through SoulCycle, a lot of Pilates, a lot of solid core, which is more like strength training, and then doing my physical therapy exercises every day. I've met with my run coach, which I think I mentioned, and I'm starting to create that running plan, which will probably be the second video of this series, is actually me going out and starting running again. And my physical therapist asked me while we were doing stuff today, like, do you have any running goals? And I was like, I haven't had any. I've internalized this idea that I'm not 90 pounds and 5'8", and so I'm never going to be a fast runner. I'm never going to Boston qualify. I shouldn't even look at doing the 6 majors. I've just been so casual with my running. This on the internet before, but my mom, as an example, was a professional athlete, and she said she wasn't in her best physical shape until she was 29, because she finally learned how to sleep and eat and recover and do all that stuff. The idea that most athletes have their prime time moment when they're 20. I didn't peak at that time, so I should just be mediocre for the rest of my life. I still like to keep running fun and whatever, but I think I've lost that competitive aspect. I've just kind of given up on myself, and I don't know if other people relate to that. Just because I'm not like the fastest of the fast, I don't want to set goals for like running paces and times and stuff. But I'm starting to come around to that idea that I should be ambitious with my goals. I am a runner. I have to tell myself that all the time. And I've started to think about, like, seriously what my running goals would be if I didn't set any limiting beliefs on myself. And limiting beliefs are something I've struggled with interpersonally, athletically, academically, needing validation from labels or other people, whatnot. It's very normal to do so, but specifically with running, I've tried to regain confidence with that. Like, that is the thing I've really lacked the whole year, I would have to say, for 6 months, is just feeling confident as a runner. I think I belittle myself. I joke that I'm like, oh, I'm just a little TikToker. I'm not a elite athlete, which I'm very much not trying to say I'm an elite athlete, but that still doesn't mean that I can't have competitive goals for the type of runner I want to be. And I've been taking this opportunity to realize that, yeah, I don't really know how fast I could run a marathon, but I also don't know how fast I could run a marathon. And that's exciting. That's scary, but it's exciting that I don't know my limits yet. Like, I haven't properly trained as a runner before. Really exhausting mentally to do all that stuff, like not do the running stuff and do so much physical therapy and rewiring of basically how I walk, how my hips are wired, how my feet move. And I still feel clunky. I feel like Bambi on ice. Really keeping in the back of my mind that you got to take steps back to go forward sometime. And I think that I'm going to look back at this year of being a huge rebuild year of I took a chance to really just slow down and do all the unsexy stuff, and I think it's going to pay off. I think it will pay off. So yeah, cheers to a Monday. Let's go sit and have some salt bath and read a book. I'll talk to you soon. In order to get there, you have to be stubbornly, rigorously, and very patiently tighten all the screws of each individual part. This takes time, of course, but sometimes taking time is actually a shortcut. So now I tell myself, I've changed my form and I'm no longer the swimmer I used to be. Okay, let's talk about the book. Okay, so let's chat about this book. I finished it up. Today's Thursday, June 29th, meaning that my 2-week running break is coming to a close. Thank you for following along. It's been a lot. I kind of did something though. Yesterday, I did go for a run. My PT wanted me to test to just see how my body's feeling now that I've given myself like a little bit of a break. No pain in the calves and knee, which was exciting. We've been working on a lot of gait stuff. Amazing little memoir. I think that you can finish this in like 1 to 2 weeks. I was barely reading this and just read it in like chunks, and it's 180 pages. It's a memoir all about running, so it's all about Murakami's experiences, like training for marathons, ultramarathons, just like why he runs. That being said, I'm very excited, and I remembered that I do love running. Taking the break was tough for me. I have a lot of hesitations and anxieties about how marathon training is going to go. I've met with my run coach. We're starting out our plan, which will begin next week. Being said, since I finished this book, I think the only thing that I'm going to want to read for the rest of the year is going to be books about health and wellness and running. So I picked up this book called Built to Move. Lily Starrett and Juliet Starrett. They went on the Rich Roll podcast, and that's where I heard about their movement practice. They specialize in mobility. They make mobility really accessible into your everyday life. For me, I know that I would never do like a 30-minute hip mobility video on YouTube, but if I can do little exercises throughout my day, I'm much more likely to build that in as a habit, if that makes sense. Excited to start this book, learn about mobility, and it'll be my next little video that I do for you guys. Mobility is really important for longevity. It's helpful not only if you are an athlete and like getting in range of motion and all of your joints and that shit, but it's really important for life. Like if you want to be able to pick up your grandkid when you're 80, which is an example they talked about in the podcast, you have to make sure that your joints are able to go through a full range of motion. So mobility is really important for a long, healthy life. It's really hard to think about mobility when you're like 24 like me, but you know, when you see people around you aging and that, it's kind of scary and it propels you to want to be like preventative with it, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading this book. Conclusion with this video, so as you know, I journal every single morning, doing morning pages. Every single one of my entries has been about this like question of doubt about myself. Why am I limiting what like my possibilities are with running? I've never really set ambitious goals with it. Why do I feel like I can't be a runner? What other things do I need to work on in terms of like self-confidence and belief? And then what physical things do I actually need in order to run a marathon? So for me, a lot of the mental stuff is where I get stuck. Physical stuff is going to be a challenge, like running 20 miles and then 26.2 miles. But for me, it's a lot of what I say about myself is what I'm working on. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video of what I talk about when I talk about running. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.